back to my channel. Welcome back to Oscar Overlander. This will be my very first video this year. I know it's already April, mid of April. We have had weather like this all the time for the past 3-4 months, even longer. Rain, rain, and again rain. You know, I tried to do some things on my camper, on the rig, but the amount of dirt and rain, like rainwater you're dragging in and out when you go from the camper to the shop and back, you know, it's insane. You wreck more than you do good, right? So that's why I said, make a cut, go in hibernation, you know, and continue next year. So, as I said, this is my first video this year. I hope you all had a good start into 2025. Yeah, we actually did. We used the time not being busy on doing other stuff on the rig or something, or can't do anything in gardening, as I have told. I like to do these type of things too. We took a little time off and we went down under. We went to Australia and we had a camper booked and did a tour along the Great Ocean Road, which was phenomenal. It was an awesome experience. But there was a little flip side on the medal, because the camper we booked, we made quite a few experiences which we didn't expect. The video is not about bashing things, like down talking things, you know, like especially not brands or any models. You know, it is just to point out these different, let's call it issues, you know, they have been made. And which you should avoid in your build if you're planning to transform a transporter into a camper or build a big expedition truck like I do. Yeah, so these things we want to point out, and you see how much thought and how, you know, like thought process is actually required to build a camper like that, so you can enjoy it, you know, afterwards. Okay, so let's start the video and enjoy. The camper we rented is a Renault. That's the car make, a Renault. It's a diesel. I believe it is 2.3 liter. It runs pretty good. It's automatic, but can be obviously, or not obviously, but it can be changed to manual, but I haven't done it yet. I don't really know how that works because the automatic works pretty good. It's not super powerful, but it is okay. You get up and down every hill, right? In Australia, you're driving on the right side. Nothing really complicated. I can show the interior later. So we have here the water fill station, basically. There is just a, as we have in Canada as well. Oh, sorry. The water, here goes the fresh water in there for use on the sink and shower. Here is the gas bottle in it, right there. That's all it is. Here's the power hookup. You got actually two. No, sorry, this is the brake. two flaps here basically, and there's the hookup. Here's the toilet cassette. Easy in and out. No problem at all. Other than that, here's the Dometic fridge. You know, good air ventilation. Here's the ventilation for the whole cab. It's you can't close it. It's open all the time. And then here is the storage for the hoses. And that's it. It's just the hoses. You can barely squish a pair of shoes in there. You know, and of course the power cable. Here is a power pickup. Basically, you can, if you want to plug something in on the outside, speaker system on the outside, and that's it. What I meant with the storage here, that you can barely fit the shoe in there,
is there's no other storage hatch. There's nothing. There's nothing for chairs or table, no storage whatsoever. So we have always the chairs behind the driver or passenger seat, and the table up in this compartment here on bed height. It's really annoying. You know, the table stands overnight outside, gets dusty, and then you put it inside. There's no good, no good, no good. So the chairs, they have their dedicated spot there, but supposed to you should have them in the pouch here and then up there. But this is also the spot where we keep our pillows, right? And if you put the dirty chairs in there, you know, with the grass and the dirt on it, and then you pillow on top of it, and the first 2 weeks long, then you can imagine what your pillows look like, right? But if the chairs are standing like this, then you can't lower the bed because the bed goes straight down and there's not much gap there. So you have to put them down. So most of the time we have them laying here. And if you go through to the driver's seat or passenger seat, you have to be careful. You twist your ankles here or hit your head on the dashboard. So it's a lot of fun. Then we have here the entertainment system. So this is here just for information, like the water, fresh water and pump and heat. It says heater, but I don't know. It hasn't even a heater. That's a different topic. But there's a radio with that brand. And it has a CD slot, which is nowadays pretty useless. Nobody has CDs. FM or AM doesn't receive anything. Very rarely that we get a radio channel. If we have one, then mostly they talk. They don't play any music. So that's why we leave it off. And I saw in a video, you know, from that rental service that there is a USB stick. So I prepared basically a flash drive with some music on it. But this machine does not recognize my flash drive. So no music the whole vacation. Except from our cell phones or a computer. And if we would not have our cell phones or computer, we would be it would be very quiet. Here's a TV. What a nice beneficial item, but cannot be used. The only use is as a clothes holder, basically, right? A clothes rack. The only useful function of that entertainment system is basically using it as a clothes hanger. Because after a long, you have the antenna which you stand up on the roof, but even after a long scanning process, there is no channel, nowhere. So we gave up. This is always dark and never played any channel here. Just hanging the clothes over it. That's it. Then we got a cupboard here. There's lots of storage for clothes, fire extinguisher. The fridge actually did a pretty good job. Runs on 3 ways, on 240, on gas, and on the 12-volt system of the van. Now we come to the most fun room. You know, shower. Can't say anything about it because we have never used it. It's huge, it's big, is as big as at home, I would say. But we never used it because all the campgrounds had some showers and it was decent to use them. Storage down below. Small sink, which is fine, totally fine, but you should not use a household faucet, because when you go down here and you want to wash your face, you most likely hit your eyebrow on that handle here, right? You burst your eyebrow open, you know, or worst. So anyway, this is kind of, oh my god, this, yeah, that's a total no-go. Storage is not really much here. As I said, down there, that's very shallow. There's not much space in there. But also, this is all open. Every, you know, on the ocean road, left, right, and this is all out. It's all on the ground all the time. There's no security, no bungee, no net, no nothing. It's all open, so falling out. This thing pisses me off all vacation long, because whenever you sit down here, you most likely shook that thing off, or you hit your ribs on it, right? It's kind of, yeah, it's household. It doesn't fit here, you know, like this is absolute the wrong spot for it. This is a nice open unused space there could be a bungee or a shelf system or something, but there's nothing. And yeah, here is one cupboard. This is we used it for underwear and socks and stuff like that. Here you can't put anything unless it's very low, you know, otherwise it's falling out. It's all falling out. Nothing is secured here. Pretty useless. So the only thing which doesn't bother you is basically the towel holder up here. Oh, and I forgot to say, this knob here is basically the flush, you know, the electrical pump where you flush the toilet. But you have to keep the lid down, otherwise it's swirling around and dripping out. It's all swimming here. Like, yo, okay. Then we have here a wardrobe with 2 doors kind of thing. Lots of storage. There's nothing you really can say about that. That's pretty good. There's a curtain instead of a door. That's fine, saves weight. Storage up here with a little bit of plates and cup mugs and stuff. Anyway, microwave here, that's okay as well. 2 burner stove, that worked actually pretty good. And then you have the drawers here, which have no soft closer. That is pretty annoying. You let your neighbors know when you close the drawer, right? This is pretty funny. It has a super deep pocket, but it's so small, so shallow. It's just that wide. I don't know why they didn't use the full depth of that. Anyway, so, but as you can hear, right, your neighbor know when you use your kitchen. Yeah, so here is an extra. This is where you operate your bed up and down, right, down like that. That is also a funny thing. That works actually pretty good. Comes down easily, but this is the problem. This is on my, as you can see, right? So we had this camper for 12 days and I hit my head at least 15 times. Sometimes pretty bad. I bit on my tongue, you know. Yeah, it was not really enjoyable. This edge here is kind of dangerous. In the kitchen, that sink, it is actually pretty deep. It's monstrous. You need a lot of water to fill that, but it worked well, so I'm not complaining about that one. It's okay. Oh, these blinds. I thought when we get the camper first time, I thought, oh, these are basically the same as we have in our truck, you know, blind, and then the mosquito net. But I don't know who installed this should not be like that, right? I don't know. And for self-builder, I would not recommend these type of handles because it happens twice. We burst our kneecaps on it and it hurts pretty good, you know, or your hip or whatever. So they're pretty exposed and they hurt. And here is the seating area. So you have that table, which can be moved. That's pretty convenient. But the issue I have is with this here. This is basically the knob you have to push, right? So you can lower the table. But this cannot be pushed with bare feet. As much it hurts. It hurts so much. So you actually have to take something. Now you heard that, right? Now I can lower the table. But barefoot you cannot do it. Unless you're going to hurt yourself. Like that. But that hurts. So then you have the seating, and that is the most terrible part here in that camper, I must say, you know, because when you sit here, you can't reach the other side. So we had 2 days of strong winds and a little bit of rain, so we had to be inside, right? It happens if you make a vacation on the ocean. So we had to spend some time inside, and that's why I'm 6'2", you know, like I'm pretty long. I have to do this to reach it. But believe me, after a while your back hurts and you have to change position. My wife is shorter, she can't reach it. She can't use it that way, not at all.
This way is great, absolute great, because it's super funny. You enjoy it for a little bit, but not long, believe me. So this, or you can do the other way. You can do this. That's maybe better for a little bit, you know, like or so. Hold it for a bit, but it's a great exercise, believe me. So that's awesome. Not this way, or this way. So actually you can only sit here. That's the only way. If you make it work somehow, we put a pillow there, you know, and then put this, and then you lay here, but your arm has no space here. It's always hanging down. You have to tuck it in here and enjoy the time you can hold this position, right? That's really whoever designed this thing here is not a camper, I would say. And then as next, we have actually the bed above. So you put the you put the cushion there, right there. Then you bring the bed down. This is actually pretty quick done, I must admit. It's not bad. But what happens afterwards is from a different world. Because this entry is pretty high, right? Not for me, I can make it. People below 6 feet, they have an issue. There is a ladder, which is in that cabinet there. You hook it in here, the 2 steps, that's small. It hurts like hell on your feet. So that's why we decided we're not using it. But if you go in, this corner is super sharp. That is sharp. That my kneecap, hallelujah, or your hip or whatever, it hurts like hell. And then the very best part is this mattress. This mattress, it seems pretty thick, but look what I can do. It's maybe 1 inch now. So the first 2-3 days was okay, but after that, you have back pain from a different level. You know, after 5 hours of sleep, you have to get up and move a little bit. Otherwise, you have so much back pain, you're not yourself on the next day. So this is brutal, really brutal. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not really my thing to bash things, but whoever designed this camper is either a camper hater or has no clue what is needed at camping. Seriously. All this equipment doesn't work well. This hurts. You know, I don't know what to say. This is really a camper of horror. Camper of horror. Enjoy one of these, rent one of these for your next extreme vacation experience. Okay, that's better than adventure holiday. Another thing on this camper is that you have nowhere, really nowhere, a hook or a clothes hanger or anything where you can hang anything. Right? That is really annoying. So you can't hang anything on a hook. There is nothing. So that is completely missing. Also missing is, in my opinion, a heater. There is only one heating source in it, and that is the AC here. The AC can be turned into a heater, as we all know, but this AC requires 240. If you're not on a full hookup campground, you have no heater source whatsoever. And we have seen here temperatures. Now we're in Australia, we're in end of March, 2nd April. We have seen 6 degrees outside, and the walls from that camper, they are basically thicker as a newspaper, right? So they insulate almost absolute nothing. So basically you have the same temperature inside as you have outside, and you have no heater. That is lots of fun. You have to roll yourself in your blanket as good as you can. Another issue with this camper, or sometimes with other campers as well, is where you keep, you know, your garbage.
We always have a bag hanging here or maybe down here, you know, hanging the bag with all the garbage. There's no bin, there's no nothing for garbage particularly. You know, that's an issue. If you go, the bag is pretty full, you know, and you go at night in the washroom and you wake up your partner because you're squeezing the garbage bag. Oh, and I forgot to introduce you to one of my friends and on that trip, and that is that guy. I call him Noisy Bugger. That thing hangs down all the time, and when you drive on the ocean road, it goes left, right, left, right, left, right, and that thing is going with you like this. It drives you nuts when you drive. But regardless, the machine himself, the van, the Renault van, it's actually pretty good to drive. It's easy, drives like a transporter, right? It's on the right hand side, and because you're driving on the left side of the street, you know, this one is extremely easy to drive as an automatic. You shift forward, that's drive, and then you go to the right, that's neutral, and to the right and back is reverse. That's easy. In this case, that one here has the turn signal on the same side as we have at home. You know, I have seen the cars, they had it on that side. There's a little coordination required, but this one is very easy because it's like home. And handling with the left hand is not a problem. You do it once, you put it in drive and you go, right? A shifter would be more difficult, but it is automatic, so it's totally easy. And if you get it, how I was a little afraid about the traffic on the wrong side, basically, but you get it pretty quick. Don't be afraid about that. At the beginning, when you rent such a camper or a car in general, you just follow somebody, follow the traffic for a few hours, you know, as much as you can, and they get the feeling. Because if you have somebody in front of you, that takes the fear away. You just go with the flow, and then you observe the things. Oh, while I'm seeing it, there is a USB slot as well. Also, this one, this on the car set cannot recognize my flash drive. So I had two with me, both are not recognized it. So we had no music basically, but we had a laptop with us and we played the music from there, so it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, so that's my report from the camper of horror. You know, it was painful. It was painful sleeping on such bad mattress. These are the things I pay attention to during my own build. I thought I shared that. There's a lot of things what is not good here.